Hello, welcome to Mosaic Arts Online. I am Anabella Wewer, and in this course we will take an in-depth look at how to use Hammer and Hardie to cut materials for use in Mosaic, starting with how to select the stump, drill and refine the hole for the Hardie, and how to set the Hardie into the stump for maximum stability. We will learn fundamental details about both the hammer and the Hardie and how to select the most appropriate ones for your work. We will talk about how the weight of the hammer affects cuts, as well as the effort you have to put forth to cut for long periods of time. Posture and breathing affect whether we can achieve precise cuts, so we'll go over those details. Following, we start cutting. You will learn how to approach smalti, marble and natural stones, how to achieve a variety of cuts, and the reasons why some cuts are not as successful as we would like. We will refine cuts using the stump and different sides of the hammer, discuss important safety topics, and lastly, we will facet smalti for maximum reflectivity. Included in your course is a PDF with some resources and sources for where to get the tools and materials. Let's get started.
Anabella, thank you so much for bringing this short but very important course to Mosaic Arts Online. This is going to be awesome for anyone that wants to get started in Hammer and Hardie and, then take off with all the different things they can learn, plus from your two other courses with materials such as language and classical.
Yep, it is the most important tool for me anyway,
yes,
to do what I do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is all you use, right? You're like nippers
yes.
are a foreign language to you.
Nippers are only when I have to. I don't actually own the wheel nippers. Mm-hmm. I use slate nippers for that purpose. Mm-hmm. And I do have those ones that are parallel cuts for very specific things, especially when I'm trying to get a little nip out of a very precious material. Like if I don't have more, then I don't maybe use my hammer. But
right. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is to go into a stump if you can, and the difference with the tabletop that people ask a lot about?
Yeah. So stability is really, really important for getting precise cuts. So if you're trying to get precise cuts, you definitely want a stump. But even if you're just trying to get specific shapes and things are wobbling around you, then it's just much harder and you waste a lot more material. So the tabletop Hardies are valid if, especially if you're traveling or if that's all you have space for. Important thing is to put it over the leg of a table for more stability, and sometimes a clamp is good to keep it from moving. Even if you set it on a stump, that's already a benefit because the energy is transferring all the way down to the floor.
Right.
The weight of the stump, as we talked about on the course, is important. But anything that's moving is going to affect cuts.
So, in this course, Anabella shows you how to drill out the hole in an 8x8 beam, basically, that can be found at a hardware store. Yeah. But if you can get a tree stump, which you are more familiar with, then even better, as long as the ground is level, not the ground, the bottom is level.
The bottom,
level,
sometimes, sometimes the floor is not necessarily even, so you kind of have to adjust. Sometimes just jiggling the stump around to find the most stable stump is
important.
It's the most important thing, yeah.
Right.
The dimensions of the stump are important because obviously weight, and then there are other reasons why I prefer to have a larger.
To be able to have your materials right next to you.
Yeah, I mix materials, you refine over the wood, and just for safety, if things are farther away from you, then maybe you don't get cut as much.
Right. And what about height? What do you prefer?
So the height is...
Sitting or standing?
Oh, I work mostly standing, so I actually have two stumps in my studio. One is standing height, and the other one is for when I sit. It's all related to the height of your chair, your own torso.
Right.
So we go over all of those considerations in the course. Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough. You have brought something that is very precise, short, but to the point, and I think will answer a lot of questions for people and inspire them to move on to a tool that should not be intimidating.
I hope so. It really advances what you can do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.